the second article builds on the first article and looks at it from a little different angle. But again, the gist is that it's talking about information technology's impact on work and society. So this article starts off by talking about some of the major events, the timeline. I think just looking here at 1970, the first automatic teller machine is introduced. And think how something that simple, now all of a sudden you don't need to go to the bank as much, and you can just go to the ATM machine and get your money. Something that simple slowly starts trends that build upon that technology and impact, how we get money and how businesses are ran. So it highlights some of the major ones into the 90s. And then it talks about, it poses a question which I like, for example, how has the development of IT influenced the common traditions of society? And it gives a summary of what they believe the impact of IT has been on these different areas. They do it for each one of these, so it gives you a little bit of in-depth to each of the areas that they're talking about. It looks at government, it looks at business in general, and how things have changed. News and media. Think how we get our news and media now as compared to 30 years ago. How many of you have a subscription to a newspaper? I assume most of you don't, and you don't need that now. You can just go online to any newspaper you want, find the information you need. If you need information, you go to Yahoo, you go to Google. Now if we have a question, we go to Google. We Google it to try to find the solution. So what is the value of news and media organizations? I also think of ESPN, and here ESPN's been having a great deal of financial issues, and some of it is because people aren't using or watching TV as much, but also people are finding other ways to get their news. You don't need to watch ESPN to get the highlights from the day. You can go online and find them just as easily. So we are changing how we are doing that, and it is impacting how news and media is being presented to us. We talked a little bit about education in the past, and education has seen great change due to information technology, and now we have access to any material we want on the internet. And I think I told you before about the two classes I took in session 1, how they had exams that were multiple choice, but they were timed. And the whole idea is, if you give somebody a multiple choice test and you don't have it timed in an online environment, you can find the answer. It may take you forever, but you can find the answer without even knowing the answer, because there are so many resources available to you. And it's just one example of how technology has changed how education is delivered. Then it talks a little bit about, again, how it affects the activities and interests of a broad range of people, and how everybody is impacted by technology. Talks a little bit about social and how society is being changed, the interaction between individuals, and technology has a huge impact. Thinking with our smartphones, it's interesting now that most people don't even use their smartphone to talk on the phone. Now if people want to communicate, they're going to use Snapchat, they're going to text each other, and there's a lot less talking on the phone. Then it kind of wraps up their whole story. Again, it adds to this idea, and the whole purpose of this first week is just to get an understanding of the impact of information technology and how it is influencing society before we begin to delve deeper into how it aligns with business education, and also what we need to be preparing our students for when they go out into the workplace. Because as I said before, I think employers expect our students to have a strong understanding in IT and be able to complete tasks in that. Do they expect them to be proficient at every IT skill? No, but that they can pick it up and learn it quickly.